Hi guys, I wanted to do a quick follow-up about the class that my really good friend and I went to on Sunday evening. It was a shadow work class, and essentially what that is individuals learn to connect with their inner child. And that may sound, like ethereal or, just like, ooh, out there. But basically what happens is during our childhood, when we are exposed or experiencing traumatic events, that part of our inner child can get disconnected. So we get like fragments of our identity. Our identity is fragmented. Okay? So the whole goal and strategy is that we reconnect with that inner child during those times so that we can integrate, heal, and become whole. It's a lot of hard work. For me, it was just a refresher, because with my bachelor's and master's, I'm very familiar with, this type of necessary component to healing. Okay. So you really don't start getting, you really have to go to the root. It's like anything. You got to go to the root of the mental health condition to find out what is, impeding or, obstructing someone from healing and becoming whole. Because so often those of us that have endured a lot of trauma may self-medicate. I was just fortunate not to have an addictive type of personality, but, I have complex PTSD. So, if intervention does not occur during these childhood traumatic events, our identity is fragmented and we lose gaps of time. And one of the first assignments that a therapist might do, and she was doing the same thing, is that you find a picture of yourself as a child when you felt like your first trauma may have occurred, and you connect with that child. You embrace that child and say, I'm here for you now to make you feel safe. Unfortunately for me, I don't have childhood pictures. Very rare. There is like maybe 3 of myself, but nothing younger than 10 that I'm aware of. There's a group shot of me like walking away with some siblings, but I think that's it. So that's been traumatic for me. You don't really want to like sound selfish, but it's not selfish. When you can look into that child and actually visually connect with that child, it's a little bit easier to have a picture, because it kind of brings you back. And then your memory gaps start to take place. Anyways, so that was the first assignment. She went through the whole, explanation about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that your basic needs have to be met. And the highest level of the hierarchy is self-actualization. So your basic needs get met until self-esteem, things like that. I don't have it all in front of me, but most of us are quite aware of that. Even if you took like psychology, like 101 or something, that probably was introduced there, and that's what's so distressing for children that are in dysfunctional households. And most of us come from some type of dysfunction, but the children that are going through, refugee children, homeless children. Another thing she didn't mention, but one thing I know is like, say you're in a family where one child is really ill, has some type of terminal or chronic condition, a lot of attention gets put on that child. So some of the other children, some of their emotional needs, they weren't, abused, but their emotional needs may have been neglected. And one thing I just brought up in the class myself is that, you really can't respond to someone else until you respond to yourself. So point I had made is that parents are oftentimes uncomfortable when children express their feelings. It creates anxiety within the parent because their feelings were never responded to or addressed or validated. So they don't have the tools. And so what happens is it creates distress in them. It's not that they're trying to be cruel, unnecessary, cruel or heartless. It just puts them, creates anxiety in the parent and they get overwhelmed. So they truly, kind of respond like, you're going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Stuff like that, kind of shut down. And then that child learns, and that's not even like from an abusive situation. You can imagine where like, if a child's in an abusive situation, like, I'm going to give you something to cry about, or, get away from here, and slaps them out of their way or something like that. But I'm referring to, just generally not being able to respond to a child's feelings. And I remember, I went through some of this as a parent, because it wounded me to see my child wounded, but I didn't know how to, suspend my feelings enough, so that of course I didn't want, so you don't feel defensive. Once you don't feel defensive, you can step back and, empathize more with someone. So anyways, but that's basically a recap. I don't need to go on and on. I'm out handling some errands, and then I got to review a bunch of work for Roy, my hubby. We are essentially here. Sunday it'll be one week we'll have left. Okay. Anyways, I want to wish you all a blessed day. I love you all. Take care. Bye.